Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Mr. Lee Zhu-Yang, Public Service Commission members, scholarship recipients, educators, families, home team colleagues. Very good evening to all of you. And first of all, congratulations to all our scholarship recipients and their parents who are here. Tonight marks the start of your journey with Home Team. Our mission, Home Team's mission, is very clear. Very simple, to keep Singapore safe and secure. And within that, we have so many departments, many different facets. If you look at international rankings, reports, surveys, Gallup last year, Global Safety Report, we were ranked the safest city in the world for the 12th time running, 12 years in a row. And these things don't happen by coincidence or chance. The latest public perception survey by Home Team, we go on the ground, we ask Singaporeans, about 95% of those surveyed gave a very good rating for Home Team's performance in keeping Singapore safe and secure. And everyone here, if you think back, first of all, you wouldn't have had, unlike many other countries, you wouldn't have had much to do with the police because crime is low. Second, your impression of the police force and your impression of your own safety, I think you can relate to what I'm saying. And about 93% trusted our officers to carry out their duties professionally, fairly, and with integrity. So whichever part of the Home Team you're joining an organization that has tremendous reservoir of goodwill with trust. That is not easy to earn. So you're joining, whether you're joining the police or SCDF or ICA or Internal Security Department or the prisons or CNB, any of the others, the Home Affairs HQ, automatically public perception of you as a member of this team is that you're a person of integrity, that they can trust you, and they rely on you to keep Singapore and themselves safe. Not many organizations where you join and automatically you come with that certificate of trust. But it has to be earned regularly, and you will then have to work to make sure that it's maintained. So these are all the results of hard work over the years by generations of Home Team officers. I want to spend a little bit of time talking to you about the kind of challenges that we face in Singapore on the law and order front, so that you also know what we are, grappling with, dealing with. It's important is when you come back each year, you will be in the organization, you need an understanding of how things are changing. We have done very well in Singapore on physical crime, housebreaking, sexual crimes, homicide. Homicide is hardly, something that is present in people's minds. So on the physical side, it's been as safe as one can possibly think of. But one threat has been rising very fast, and we have been trying to put a lot of resources into it. This is crime committed through the internet. Scams, they target our psychology, they take advantage of human nature and emotions. Scammers reach out to potential victims, they hide behind anonymity, and they move stolen funds quickly. And part of the reason, the very same fact that people in Singapore have a tremendous trust in Home Team, in government as a whole, they believe Singapore to be safe and secure, also means that when somebody calls up and says they are from the police or from IRAS or from one of the government agencies and ask for phone number, banking details, people give them, particularly older people. So it's very sad to see. I see them in the context of my being an MP, they will come, couples in their 60s, sometimes often in their 70s too, entire life savings, a few $100,000, gone in a minute because somebody with a card tells them, I'm from the police force, I'm from one of these agencies, and we need your bank account because something is happening, and they will give. And then, $500,000 gone, no money left. It's very sad to see. And some of them, if they are in Singapore, we can deal with them, but often the money is transferred overseas. So it very quickly, within a matter of seconds, it's outside the jurisdiction. And of course, once the money leaves, it's very difficult to recover. There are too many stories, actually, of people losing their entire life savings. We have come up with a slew of legislation to deal with scams. And last year, for the first time, we saw a drop in the number of scam cases and the total amount that was lost to scams. But it's really too early to tell. We don't know which way it's going because technology is changing. And in the context of the internet, we now face a very new and powerful threat, AI. It's changing the threat landscape in many different ways. It lowers barriers to entry. Previously it would take years to learn something. Now, with the right prompt, it can be done in a matter of minutes. It compresses the time between the intent to commit a crime and the actual commission of the crime. Days of planning now takes minutes. And it means less time for the police force, for the law enforcement agencies to detect, let alone prevent. And AI is developing rapidly. Many newer, more powerful models are coming up. Even this year, 6 months is too outdated in the AI world. And we are seeing the impact of the AI threats. For example, take extremism. We detained a 17-year-old boy under the Internal Security Act 2 years ago. He had used an AI chatbot to generate his pledge of allegiance to ISIS and his attack manifesto. Last year, we detained another 17-year-old boy, even younger than many of you now are, the scholarship holders. He had searched an AI chatbot, instructed it for instruction on producing ammunition and 3D printing of firearms. One victim lost nearly $5 million because they thought that the Singapore government was making an appeal for money. And the scammers then contacted the gentleman and said, government doesn't need the money for itself, but it needs the money to use for international purposes, as said in this video. And he put up $4.9 million, and so did many others. So it's all around us, it's increasing, and I'm sure the AI videos will get better than this. A third example is misinformation, disinformation. Last 2 years ago, there was a stabbing attack in Southport, England. 3 young girls, kindergarten, were killed. Within hours, a post on X made a false claim, said the suspect was a Muslim immigrant. AI-generated images made the falsehood appear more credible. Within days, riots all over the UK, mosques were attacked, asylum seekers were targeted, and a lot of violence, a lot of bloodshed. An entire country was in a febrile state of crisis. Back in Singapore here, we very recently detected over 30 YouTube channels which published nearly 300 AI-generated videos in Mandarin, targeting PM Lawrence. False claims that the cabinet was fighting within itself, that Singapore was facing economic collapse, and so on. 2 months ago, we saw online posts targeting the Indian community with inflammatory narratives. So people are also targeting Singapore, our unity within Singapore, and using AI. How do we deal with all of this? This is just a small vignette of the kind of challenges that we now face. The physical landscape, have it under control, but that doesn't mean that there is no crime, nor does it mean that we can relax. It only remains in control because we keep it under control. So it's continuous work in progress. On top of it is this AI induced internet uh, enabled crime that's exploding. We need strong governance. I mentioned this in the context of scams earlier. We have targeted this with a number of laws so that the legal framework is strong. Peculiar to Singapore because most of the countries that are facing these threats are not in a position to put in place the right legal framework. So we have Maintenance of Religious Harmony Act, Racial Harmony Act, Foreign Influence Countermeasures Act, all giving the government, particularly Ministry of Home Affairs, powers to move in quickly, disable, take down, and based on credible information, even arrest without detention. They are designed to stop the harm before it becomes worse. Second, we are working on turning AI's capabilities to our advantage. So across the home team, AI is, the adoption of AI is a significant approach to try to use it to detect threats earlier, to make our officers more efficient and effective, and free our officers for tasks that require human judgment so that they don't have to do the routine stuff. For example, the SPF has launched its Cyber Command. It has a digital disruption center which identifies and removes online threats. Now, AI is not quite where we want it to be. It's work in progress, but we are trying. So what the approach is to try and remove the fake websites or block them even before they can be deployed. 2 in 3 such sites are now being taken down. If you look at ICA, it's transforming border clearance. The automated passenger clearance system at the checkpoints, if you have traveled through, you will see, uses biometrics, counter forgery capabilities, and passengers are cleared while sitting in their vehicles. What that means is one officer can oversee several lanes at the same time. And ICA is also deploying AI in document processing. So together with HTX, which is our science and technology agency that helps across home team, a product was developed called Matrix that improves the accuracy of data extraction by a factor of 3. Other home team agencies are also moving in the same direction. CNB is using AI, like police, to speed up investigative processes. SCDF uses AI to identify buildings which are more likely to have fire safety violations so that officers can target the buildings which have a higher fire risk. Prisons is trialing the autonomous televisit system that can automate registration, verify identities, detect who is unauthorized in terms of visitors and activities, and also try and flag signs of emotional distress. And it can do so in real time. The key agency behind all of this is HTX. We launched the Home Team AI movement 2 years ago. In April this year, I announced that HTX, in collaboration with our partners, has built a product called Engine This is MHA's first GPU-powered sovereign AI engine infrastructure. In collaboration with other partners, HTX has also released our Phoenix family of large language models. They are currently being used by our home team officers. This is the operating reality now. We have to keep reinventing ourselves. But all of this is only possible because we push new boundaries while holding on to what is fundamental. The work at home team, the work that you all will be doing when you graduate and come in, demands good judgment, in fact, good moral judgment. It demands experience. It requires empathy, and it requires courage, especially during crises. In the end, it is humans, people, who decide what matters, what is fair, and what has to be done. That is why the scholarship schemes remain vital for home team to continue to do well. Our success as a home team, success of Singapore, depends on officers who have good judgment, who have commitment, and who act with a sense of purpose. So we have to attract and develop the very best minds. And we require our scholarship recipients to demonstrate not only academic excellence, but also leadership and, most importantly, a deep commitment to public service. Today, there are 40 scholarship recipients. We welcome each one of you. I will make mention of Charlene, who is our very first female president scholar. What can you look forward to, each one of you? High standards will be set for you, because to maintain public trust, we have to set high standards for ourselves. We want our people to do their best work, and it shows in a number of ways. For example, when surveys are done on working environment, home team agencies do well. Straits Times Singapore Best Employers rankings last year has been, home team agencies have been named employers of choice. We are also positioned as one of the top 2 Singapore government organizations to work for on Glassdoor. And within the public service, in the rankings on organizations to work for, more than half of our agencies were recognized as public service high engagement agencies. So you are joining an organization that will invest in you and will help you reach your fullest potential, provided you do your part. There will be challenges, but we will keep Singapore safe and secure with strong governance, responsible use of technology, and continued investment in the right people. So to the families, the teachers, and the mentors here today, thank you for nurturing these very promising young people. And to the scholarship recipients, the future is yours to shape. Welcome once again to Home Team. Thank you.